Let some people jump on here. I'm going to be giving you guys a crash course on the Matrix and also tell you a little bit about my story, about how this all began. And yeah, I've been documenting this for since 2021. It's 2025, and I really haven't told the story on YouTube yet. I've been telling it on my Instagram the past couple weeks because I finally got everything in order and in its place. But long story short, I channeled Horus, the falcon sun god of ancient Egypt, and then I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, letting us know that we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, revealing a glimpse through the veil living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation. It's holographic simulation. So on 519, that happened on 5/9, and on 5/19, that's whenever I channeled the 181 electromagnetic symbol along with the 1144 and the 1331 and the 383, among many other numbers that came up that day. that I've got everything organized in slides here today, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and go over all of this stuff and go through the story as best as I can and kind of give you guys a crash course. But we're all going through this healing journey and this awakening with these solar flares, and the solar flares are the sun is in solar maximum right now. It's solar cycle 25, and to give you a rundown, when electromagnetic light is hitting the Earth's geomagnetic field, that interaction creates the Earth's ionosphere, and the Earth's ionosphere is full of free electrons and ions, and that's what protects the Earth's atmosphere and the Earth from the extreme ultraviolet rays from solar flares. And we absorb photons, light. Light is photons. Photons represent photons represent the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. So we're absorbing these photons, and we can only see through this one little spectrum of the color spectrum, which is this tiny little spectrum. And then you have your microwaves, your gamma rays, your ultraviolet rays, and your all your different waves that your body can't, that our eyes can't see. They exist in this electromagnetic field. So your microwaves, your gamma waves, your ultraviolet waves, your my brain's farting. I got people talking over here. It's always a distraction for me. Block the people out. But yeah, we're absorbing all these photons and that we don't even see from this electromagnetic spectrum from the sun, and our bodies contain their own ionic particles. How's it going? Our bodies contain their own ionic particles like bicarbonate. We're carbon beings, and stars are made of carbon. We're made of carbon. We're absorbing photons, light, and our bodies secrete bicarbonate through our kidneys, and your kidneys regulate bicarbonate. They're whenever, instead of peeing it out, it reabsorbs it and then resecretes. Excuse me, it resecretes it. So it's like a regulator of bicarbonate. But bi means two. So your solar plexus. Let's see. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. I want to explain to you folks the symbols. So we're absorbing this light, right? I should just finish this shit. We're absorbing these photons and this light, and this is what makes plants grow. And if there was no light, if the world was just darkness, and we just woke up every day to darkness, the information would be very limited. You'd be stubbing your toe on shit like, "Oh, I didn't see that rock right there." Like, the sun comes out, the light turns on, like, oh, there's a rock right there. But the light lets you see where things are. And there's lower light. We have a light in our root chakra. That root chakra fire, it's from the fire comes from the ground. And then we have this upper light from your heart chakra. We have this upper light from your mind whenever we get ideas and we're in action and we're in thought. But we're electromagnetic beings. And excuse me, I just took a big giant hit of weed before I started this video, and my lungs are they're recovering. So but yeah, we absorb this light, ionic polyatomic ions ionize into our inner plasma like bicarbonate dissolving electrolyte salts. Electricity, electron. Ionization is the energy necessary to separate in an atom. The energy necessary to separate in an atom through ionization. So let me flip this thing around because we're gonna get into. Everybody's worried about all the food and drinks that we digest, all the just food and drinks. Nobody's talking about the actual symbols and language and what's the foundation of people that are doing the research. What's their foundation of their work? What's their starting point from? The starting point with this project is from the circle giving birth to the line, which is actually a curved line, which makes the 9. So the circle with the dot, the Godhead, that's the first word. And if you could imagine a pebble being thrown into a pond, and that dot is where the pebble is being thrown, where the pebble's landing in the water, and that ring around there, that's the wave, that's the ripple of sound, and that's the first word from mother's heartbeat when you're in the womb, and the womb is a circle with a dot. And yeah, so this is the marriage of Sia and Hugh. Sia, the feminine and the masculine, the circle and the curved line lived way before we were ever born. So this is the marriage of these two create the creation. And what's being done with the language right now, the straight line is shunning the circle, and the masculine is dominating this entire language, which it's L. L is the square, and the English language is derived from Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon runes. The compass, the Freemason compass, and L, the square. The alphabet is the A, L, phi, bet. Phi is projection. So the A is the compass, the L is the square. That Freemason compass is 2 straight lines connected that draws the circle and claims all of creation, and the square is the square that squares the circle, solidifying that shit. So if you say the word revolution, which just means a circle, revolution is a circle. And if you look up the definition on Wikipedia, it's when the people organize together to take down the ruler. What's a ruler? L, a square. So revolt. So what's re is the solfeggial tone for 9 hertz. It's the note D, the 9th note. So A, the solfeggial tone for A is the note La. L-A, your Freemason compass and square, is the music note for, it's a solfeggial tone note for the Freemason compass note A, tuned in 440 hertz. And 440 hertz on my Djed Pillar calendar cipher system here lines up with the cube. And the Djed Pillar cipher system here, we're going to get into all this, but I want to take you guys through my journey. I left on November 4th, 2023, standing against colonialism after I'd channeled this 181 symbol and created the thought, the jet pillars, and channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. And yeah, so that 181 symbol, which we're gonna get into all that stuff. I channeled this before even finding resolution 181, and I found resolution 181 the day after I got evicted from the place that I was living in at the time. And the day that I got evicted was on 10/7, the date that people from Gaza got evicted from their lands because of resolution 181 that was established in 1947. So to channel the 181 and build this whole entire fucking thing before I even found this shit was just like, what? I was in the Twilight Zone. I built this thing and I thought I knew what it was and I thought I knew some stuff, but apparently I didn't. I had to go on this journey and shut down my entire business. I had an operation of a sushi mobile catering service that I'd run for 11 years that was super successful in a ski resort town in Park City, Utah. And I shut that whole thing down because this whole thing just happened, and uh, my ancestor Luisa Vivancos in the 1500s, she was enslaved by the encomienda system, and she was enslaved by a Spanish conquistador, a fishing captain, and this is the same time that the Jesuits were established in 1540, and Pope Gregory, the Gregorian calendar, was created in the 1500s, and this whole Gregorian calendar is a colonizer's calendar, and yeah, so the encomienda system was released by the Spanish crown in 1503, and that allowed colonialists the right to come in and enslave people whenever they're on the lands that they're staking claim to. So if there was a land where the mountains and the streams were running off on all the crystals and gold were gathering, all the places where mining towns are built are in these like super lush areas where all the water runs off and the runoff from the snow melt, and everything is just beautiful in those areas. And these are the areas that they genocided people and pushed everybody out west with things like the Indian Removal Act of 1830 and your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. So whenever I went on this mission after finding Resolution 181, after I got evicted, the day after I got evicted on 10/7, the day that Gaza got evicted because of Resolution 181, and that was a domino effect of the Balfour Declaration in 1917. That was written up by Chaim Weizmann, a biochemist who would later become president of Israel, and the Balfour Declaration promised Lionel Walter Rothschild Palestine and Israel in 1917. So that was in 1917, and after finding that, and then I got kicked out of my place. I had 2 months to leave, and I left in less than a month because I felt just super violated being evicted on that day whenever I just found out that resolution was the cause of that, and I was being affected by the same thing, and I'd channeled the 181, so I was putting all this shit together, and the day that I left on November 4th, I had to go back into my records and see, like, when did I actually find the Indian Removal Act? I thought that I found it on this journey, but I actually found it the day before I left on the journey, which was November 3rd, and I left on the next day, November 4th, and so whenever I left on this mission, I just found the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson, and I'd found Resolution 181, Resolution 181 a month before, and I'd left on my mission. I packed up all my stuff. I sold everything that I'd built from my sushi catering company that I built from the ground up, from having literally nothing. I was in the same situation where I was homeless for like a week or something, like 2 weeks, and then I finally found a place and uh, got a job getting a crash course with sushi to where I learned the whole entire operation, and that's what led me to the whole catering thing. I was a sushi chef for 21 years. So I was on my mission. I found the Indian Removal Act of 1830. I found the Resolution 181. I channeled the 181 symbol a year before, back in 2022. So upon leaving, in my mind, I'm thinking 1830, the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528, and I'm playing with the calendar calculator thing, and I find that 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. Resolution 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days on the calendar calculator. 528, like 528 hertz, precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. And the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528. That's when I was like, And then I found that 1830 in military time also converts to 630 in time. And the date 630 equals 181 days. That's when I was like, okay, something's up here. So I go on this mission. I end up in passing through the Four Corners and passing through a bunch of different reservations. Just I'd never done anything like this before, and I completely got caught off guard with this whole channeling of the 181 and finding the Indian Removal Act and Resolution 181. And I knew from the beginning that I was standing against colonialism, but I didn't know exactly what all of this stuff meant. So I make it to San Diego, and when I'm in San Diego, I stop at my first Mason Lodge and start investigating and just having some super synchronistic, just weird Twilight Zone moments. And from there, I ended up in Joshua Tree, and I'm in Joshua Tree camping out, and this is like a right by a military base. And the whole week that I was there felt just fucking weird. So the guy that was running the camp, his name was Desert Dave, and he just had his birthday because my birthday was coming up on that Saturday, and his birthday was on the Saturday before, or the Sunday before my birthday, and the person that owned the camp fell down some hill and like broke her leg or some shit. So he was just telling me that story, and that's what brought up his birthday. And I was like, "Oh, what's your birthday? Mine's coming up next week here." And he's like, "Yeah, my birthday's November 10th." I was like, "Oh, like 111, huh?" I didn't say that, but my mind was thinking, I was like, "Oh, like 111." It's like weird, because the Indian moved back to 1830. In military time, 1830 equals 1110 minutes, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1. Talking about the Days of the Dead. Where do we bury the dead? Underground, in burial mounds. The underground Hypogeum Temple of Malta resonates at 111 hertz. The Cairns burial mounds resonates at 111 hertz. This is well documented by Paul Devereaux, an archaeoacoustics professor out of Cambridge University. Glad you're still doing well. Your post scared me. Which post is that? Yeah, I'm never doing well. I'm investigating Freemasonry and colonialism. Barely making it. Got enough food for the day and gas for the next couple days, but I'm literally down to less than. I'm down to my last dollar, and I've spent over $250 printing out a stack of these prints, which I should just get into this shit and yeah, because I'm doing this shit to get the truth out, and I don't give a shit about. I've lived like 20 lifetimes in this world already, where I got to snowboard for 14 years. I got this skateboard for 20 something years, and been in love like 5 different times, and got 2 kids that are growing up and they're adults, beautiful, beautiful lives, and have great relationships with them. I've never had a great relationship with my family, with my mother and father and sisters. I've been a loner in that aspect, but my kids, we have a decent relationship, and I'm obviously not your like average father. I'm standing against colonialism, doing this shit, and they're like, "Dad, we miss you." I miss them too. But I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of being fucking colonized. And you guys can judge if you want, but I think John Dee, the guy that created the British Empire and Enochian magic, I think he is the most wicked man that ever lived. And note that I channeled Horus and Thoth through this, and this happened through getting the Thoth tarot cards. Those were created by Crowley, and I was reading the only book that I've ever read of Crowley's, and I burned the motherfucker after I was done, and I've never studied anything about that guy's work. I read the Book of the Law, and when I got to the part when he's in Cairo channeling Horus, the Falcon Sun God, it's 4/8. The date 4/8, and it's 1904, and he says it's noon sharp. He's channeling Horus. He's in Cairo, and I'm reading this shit, and I'm gonna document my date and time, and I want to be an alchemist too. And I go and look at the phone. It's 4/8. It's noon sharp. The 2021. 117 years precisely on the fucking dot after this thing, when 48 days equals 1 month and 17 days, like 117. So he's in Cairo, and we're channeling Horus the Falcon Sun God. This is fuck Crowley. Like, this is about Horus the Falcon Sun God, right? Cairo, Egypt. So the granite sarcophagus in the king's chamber, the vibrational value measures 117 hertz. So we're talking about Freemasonry here, because now we got to look at this equation here. This is a sigil mathematics equation using Freemasonry and ions, the square ion. Leo, the square ion, the L ion, holds his paw on the sacred ancient flower of life. There's 61 circles in this flower of life. See? When 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101. When 101 minutes equals 141 in time. And 141 minutes equals 221 in time. And the day 808, your Lionsgate portal, like Leo the Lion, equals 221 days. Full circle Lionsgate portal equation here. And we're talking about Freemasonry. 37 degrees in Freemasonry, right? And 61 minutes equals 101, and 61 is equal to 37, right? And if you're like, oh, the O is supposed to be over there. No. 37 times 3 equals 111. 61 times 3 equals 183. When 183, 1830 in military time equals 1110 minutes. Mathematically proving this point here. So let's get back into this. 61 equals 101. 61 minutes equals 101. And 61 is equal to 37 in this whole sigil mathematics equation. 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals the date 4/8. That's the date that I channeled Horus the Falcon Sun God. 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equals 1776. The year that the Illuminati was founded, and the year that the U.S. claimed their independence. Pull out your dollar bill. Who's on that thing? Your Freemason, George Washington. He's a Freemason out of the Fredericksburg, Virginia Lodge. And who else is on there? Horus the Falcon Sun God, and the Eye of Horus, and your Pyramids of Egypt. So the Illuminati were founded on 501, equaling 121 days. When, let's see. Pardon me. I'm just trying to jump ahead here. I knew I didn't organize this thing right. Son of a biscuit. We're just gonna have to wing it. So we're talking about the Illuminati. Your L, electricity, is what illuminates things, right? Your L, Evan, times L, Evan, equals 121. L, mirrored and flipped, is a 7-3. 730 minutes in time equals 12:10, or 730 minutes equals 12:10 in time. 730 mirrored and flipped is L. A little Freemason mathematics here. So, for anybody that's saying, oh, he channeled Horus and he read the Book of the Law and these motherfuckers built the reality. The U.S. would claim their independence in 1776. The Illuminati were founded in 1776 by your former Jesuit, Adam Weishaupt, your Bavarian Illuminati. So we're talking about colonialism here. So remember the whole 37 degrees in Freemasonry and Leo mirrored and flipped, so 37 and 61 minutes equals 370 minutes equals 610 in time, and there's 61 circles in the flower of life, and Leo holds the flower of life. 61 minutes equals 101. From the Lahaina fires, land grab, on 8/08 of 2023, the Gaza attacks of 10/7 on equals 61 days. 161 minutes equals 101, equaling to 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Your geometry for climate change equals 101. Your geometry for Maui fires equals 101. Your geometry for Palestine equals 101. And your geometry for Leyland equals 101. When this happened on Leyland, and that was Palestine, that was for Maui fires, and they try to blame the shit on climate change, which it's pretty funny. The geometry for weather modification equals 141. When 101 minutes equals 141 in time. Oh. You guys have no clue how much preparation I've put into not making a video here for this long. We're talking about colonialism here, kids, and who owns the NBA? Slave masters, the ancestors of slave masters, and the slavery never ended. They just candy coated the shit and made a fucking giant circus and mockery out of it. And yeah, so I'm just gonna hold this here while I finish telling the story. Whenever I was in Joshua Tree and Desert Dave, his birthday being on 11/10, like 1830, military time equaling 110 minutes, and the Days of the Dead being on 11/1. Yeah, whenever I was there, he starts the next day. I'm in the common area just settling in, and he's doing his daily chores, and this guy's like 74 years old or some shit. He's like, yeah, this is the old Morongo tribe, and they got kicked off the land here back in the 1830s. I was like, oh, because of the Indian River Act of 1830. And he's like, yeah. Because of that. And I was like, yeah. And I just was just thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Like, how his birthday's on 11/10, 1830 in military time equals 1:10 minutes, and now he's talking about the Morongo tribe getting kicked off the land. And I just reminded him about the Indian River Act of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason, President Andrew Jackson. So, upon leaving there, I was invited to go stay at my friend's land in Garden Valley, California. So I drove up there. I passed through Santa Cruz and fell in love with Santa Cruz and just the topography of the land, and passed through Big Sur, and the tribes that were kicked off of that land was enough to just make me leave that place with my tail between my legs, and made my way to Garden Valley. And my friend, she's a super intuitive, super masterful person. She graduated from Reiki school, and she went to hypnotherapy school and got certified back in the day, and now she's got this little cabin on 20 acres out in the woods in Garden Valley, living a beautiful life with 2 beautiful kids. And she let me stay on her property for 2 months, and I told her my story of how I found the Indian Removal Act in Resolution 181 and channeled the 181 symbol, and how my ancestor was enslaved by the encomienda. And come means 8, comienda means dinner, like supper, like the Last Supper. The Last Supper measures 181 inches. That's another story that's further down the road here with these slides. So yeah, she was taking an advanced socialist class at the time, and she was studying the same information in a way that I was researching and investigating. And she's like, there's a place I need to take you to tomorrow. And the way that she said it, I was like, oh shit, I better get mentally prepared, because this person is never that serious about anything whenever they're talking. And I could just feel the vibe that she put off to her. I was like, I better get ready for tomorrow, because I don't know where she's taking me, and she didn't tell me anything, and now it's all suspenseful and shit. So the next day, she takes me 15 minutes down the road to Sutter's Mill, Coloma. 15 minutes down the road, and I started like seeing reading all the little murals and seeing all the sights, and I read this thing. It's like, this is where James Marshall panned the first gold and set off the California Gold Rush of 1850 and the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. And that's when I realized that 1830 in military time equals 18.5 hours. This is when I fucking lost it. I sat in the woods for about 2 months, just digesting this fucking story. The fact that I got pulled over to where James Marshall panned the first gold and set off the California Gold Rush of 1850 and set off the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, like your Indian Removal Act of 1830, and 1830 in military time equals 18.5 hours, like the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. So I was there on December 8th. That's the day that she took me there, so keep that number in mind, the number 128. I'll remind you guys again, but now we're going to get back into the story. So, building this whole Thought the Jet Pillar thing and learning this mathematics system and Freemason mathematics, this will prove everything once you start seeing what I'm about to show you folks here. And I haven't even got into it yet, because I'm just trying to tell the story of what happened before, just so you guys can kind of have a little backdrop to this information versus just me just telling these decodes, because this is actually what happened. I was called to investigate this by channeling the 181 and finding the Indian Removal Act 1830 before I even left on the mission standing against colonialism, and then to be taken to Sutter's Mill, Coloma, where James Marshall panned the first gold. It's so synchronistic, I don't even know what to say. So let's get into this decode here, because back in 2020, on 1/26 of 2020, the Black Mamba was unalived in a helicopter, and from that day to the year of the snake, the first day of going into the year of the snake on 2025, the flight from Kansas, the American Eagle flight, collides with the heli, and we're talking about the year of the snake and the Black Mamba. Okay, so between those 2 days equals 1,830 days, like your Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason. And we're talking about colonialism here. From the Black Mamba being unalived on 1/26 of 2020, to the year of the snake, the first day Mamba snake of 2025, the heli collides with the flight from Kansas, the American Eagle flight, equals 1830 days, like your Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed into law by your Grand Master Mason, Andrew Jackson. And who owns these teams? Masons, slave masters. So that equals 60 weeks and 3 days. On runway 33, 67 people perished. So remember that. Your 33rd degree Freemason and 67, 60 weeks and 3 days is equal to 1830 days, when the date 603 equals 154 days, like your Jesuits founded in 1540. And the date 630 equals 181 days, like Resolution 181. Like Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, 181. The Roman Republic falls and the Roman Empire begins. Colonization. Look at this fun little equation here. According to my calendar cipher, the date 43 lines up with 67 hertz. Like 67 people perishing on runway 33, 1830 days. Remember all these numbers: 1830, 603, 33, 67. Remember those. So Christ being crucified on 4-3 at age 33 in 33 AD, when 4-3 equals 3 months and 3 days, and the day 4-3 equals 67 hertz on my calendar cipher system, connecting frequency with time. Now 670 minutes equals 1110 in time, like your Days of the Dead on 11-1, and 1830 military time equals 1110 minutes, like the Days of the Dead on 11-1. And 183 minutes. Where the fuck is that? 183 minutes equals 303 in time, like 333. 670 minutes equals 1110. 1830 equals 112 minutes, like the Days of the Dead. Like runway 33, 67 people passed, 1830 days. So another crazy thing is, where's this? Is it on this one? No, it's on the next one. Sorry. So on the calendar cipher system here, these numbers overlap. So runway 33, 67 people passed. The date 67 lines up with 330 hertz on my calendar cipher system, fractalizing this code. Lemuria, 5-9. Romo slays his twin brother Remo, 44 BC, 181. So 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 630 in time. The date 630 equals 181 days, like 5-9 Lemuria, 181. Date 303 equals 63 days. The date 330 equals 63 hertz. Remember, 1830 converts to 630. 60 weeks, 3 days, 1830 days. Runway 33, 67 people passed. This is nothing. Like, wait till you motherfuckers see what is next. Because 5 days later, who's on the $5 bill? Abraham Lincoln. He had the mass record hanging of 38 men on 12/26. So we'll get back into that. But 5 days later, after the day of the year of the snake, on 2/2, the 33rd day of the year, the 67th annual Grammy Awards. 5 days later, when 5 days equals 1.37% of a year, like your 33rd prime, 137. Psh, the fuck out of here. So, yeah, on 129, your Flight Eagle from Kansas collided with a helicopter. Runway 33, 67 people perished. And that was 1,830 days from Kobe Bryant being unalived in the helicopter. Like your Indian went back to 1830 on 5/28, signed on by your Grand Master Mason, President Harry Truman, or Andrew Jackson. And this is all about colonization. The Jesuits were founded in 1540. Colonizers. The date 603 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. This isn't rocket science, kid. Look, this is just occult frequency time mathematics, where this number 111 hertz, why is that number so important? Why is that number so powerful? And the number 183, why are these numbers so important? Well, 137, that's the number of broken, that's your number, it's your fine structure constant in physics. And 183, your longest day of sunlight, summer solstice, 621 plus 183 days equals 1221, your winter solstice, your longest day of sunlight, if you're to observe the sun from the longest day of sunlight to the longest day of darkness, it equals 183 days. And you're 47 degrees in Freemasonry. Why is that number so important? Well, because from the summer solstice, when the Earth is tilted 23.5 degrees towards the Tropic of Cancer, the sun's shining towards the Tropic of Cancer, to the winter solstice, when the Earth is tilted the opposite direction, 23.5 degrees, when the sun's shining towards the Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 plus 23.5 equals 47 degrees. And 47 degrees separates the Tropic of Cancer from the Tropic of Capricorn. So yeah, here's your Grand Master Mason, Grand Master, the Grand Lodge, President Harry Truman. He gave his full-throated endorsement to Resolution 181 because of his evangelistic Christian upbringing he supported. Zios, that's what he supported. So yeah, 37 degrees in Freemasonry. This is a little mathematical code. 370. Leo mirrored and flipped is 037. Leo the lion holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in the flower of life when 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 circles in the flower of life. 61 minutes equals 101 in time when 101 minutes equals 141 in time. We're talking about Freemasonry here. We're here at Hangman's Tree. This is 15 minutes down the road from Sutter's Mill, Coloma, where James Marshall panned the first gold, setting off the California Gold Rush and the fugitive slave back to 1850. So we're Hangman's Tree. See the guy hanging there? Abraham Lincoln. He had the mass record hanging 38 men from on 12/26, December 26th. So this is Hangman's Tree. This is where they hung 5 men from the same tree in Placerville, also known as Hangtown. See, Placerville, and 5 innocent men, the original stewards of the land, most likely. And yeah, these people were just living their lives, and people wanted gold, and they wanted people out of the way. And so this number 141, see that? The mile marker 141 being in, or the landmark number 141 being in front of Hangman's Tree. You're 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 370 minutes equals 610 in time. Leo the lion, Leo mirrored and flipped is 037. 61 circles in the flower of life. Leo the lion holds the flower of life. 61 minutes equals 101. 101 minutes equals 141 in time. Like landmark number 141. Not only that, but from your Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason Andrew Jackson, to Resolution 181, established on 11/29 of 1947, endorsed by your other Grandmaster Mason, President Harry Truman, giving his full-throated endorsement, equals 1410 months. Like landmark number 141. Now somebody asked, what evidence do you have of Freemasonry? This is not evidence enough. I don't know what is. So we're here at Hangman's Tree, 15 minutes down the road from Sutter's Mill, where James Marshall panned the first gold, setting off the California Gold Rush of 1850 and the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. When the address is 305, Abraham Lincoln's gematria is 305. Like 185 minutes equaling 305 in time. And the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, 185 equaling 305, and 305 and Hangman's Tree. And Abraham Lincoln had the mass record hanging of 38 men. 30.5 plus 30.5 equals 61 circles in the flower of life. So yeah, guys, look up Hangtown and you can see it was Placerville. It used to be called Hangtown. So speaking of people that like to hang people, he got carved into the Black Hills. They broke the treaty against the Sioux tribe, and they needed to gather the gold here. That's why they broke the treaty, because more gold, you know. So this project was done. It was finished on Halloween, October 31st. And of course, Halloween equals 305 days, equaling 61 days remain, like 61 circles in the flower of life, and 30.5 plus 30.5 equals 61 circles in the flower of life. your fugitive slave act, 1850. 185 minutes equals 305 in time, like Abraham Lincoln's gematria, and 1031 equaling 305 days, and that's the date that they completed this project. One giant mockery. They might as well have just carved Confederate flag patches on all of these guys, you know? So, this is whenever I made my way from Sutter's Mill, Coloma to Placerville. Then I made my way to Auburn City, and I found the Placer County Museum. Placer County. We're here in Placer County in the Sacramento metropolitan area. Sacrament meaning ritual, and yeah, Hangtown County, right? The address being 101 Maple Street, Auburn, California. On the other side of this building is the Oddfellows Lodge. The Auburn Oddfellows Lodge. The address being 1226 Lincoln Way. Would you look at that? Like the largest mass record hanging in U.S. history, being signed aloud by Abraham Lincoln on December 26, 1226. Address being 1226 Lincoln's Way. They wouldn't have it any other way but Lincoln's Way, you know? So whenever I was in Virginia City, Nevada, after I left Masonville, California, I was in Virginia City and noticed that the church address there was 111, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1, and your Indian Removal Act of 1830 and your Fugitive Slave Act of 1851, 1830 in military time equals 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1. The church bell rang every day there from 1226 to 1229, like Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 1226, and your largest or your deadliest mass shooting of Lakota people on 1229, the Battle of Wounded Knee on 1229 of 1890. And Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging was 1226 of 1862. So yeah, this has been my investigation here. That's the date that Channeled Horse there, the fucking sun god, but that was in 2021. But that date is the date of the Great Solar Eclipse from the full moon lunar eclipse on 11/29 of 2020. I believe that was the... I wonder what anniversary that was. Let me see. Of course, it's the 73rd year anniversary, like 73 mirrored and flipped. It's the 73-year anniversary of Resolution 181. L mirrored and flipped is 73. From the full moon lunar eclipse on 11/29, your 73rd anniversary on 2020, to 4/8 of 2024, the Great Solar Eclipse, where CERN turned on the particle collider, and we had that full moon lunar eclipse, or we had that new moon solar eclipse, equals a 1226 days, like Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 1226. That's just crazy. So yeah, we're about to get into, after this slide here, we're going to get into the mathematical proof of the channeling, and it's such a trip. But so the mockery of this Last Supper on 7/26, the opening ceremony of the Olympics, they're mocking the Last Supper. So remember, I channeled the 181 symbol back on 5/19 of 2022, and then found Resolution 181, and that's what split Palestine into two states, creating Israel. And I also researched the story of the Lemuria on 5/9, the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. You could say that one ate the other one, and it's a colonization code, and we're going to get into that further down the road here. So, but we're investigating this and trying to look at this thing. What was Leonardo da Vinci trying to show us here with these three windows back there? Look at these three windows on all of these ancient sites. So, the number 111, that's the holy frequency. Why is that number so important? It connects to 1830. 1830 in military time equals 1110 minutes. The date 4-2, your Last Supper, the Last Supper was on 4-2. Your 42nd prime equals 181. The Last Supper painting measures 181 inches. On leap year, 4-2 lines up with 67 hertz. My calendar cipher system, 670 minutes equals 1110 in time. 1830, your Indian move out to 1830. In military time, that equals 1110 minutes, like 111, 111. Your holy frequency, 111. So your chakra system is that's where 963 hertz minus 111 equals 852 hertz. Your third eye audio, 852 hertz minus 111 equals 741 hertz. Your throat chakra, 639 hertz minus 111 equals 528 hertz. 528 hertz minus 111 equals 417 hertz. So this is the shed pillar connected to the calendar system here. The calendar is connected to all of these frequencies here, and we've ultimately created this super organized mathematical system that connects to our solfeggio tones, the 9 solfeggio tones, the harmonics within that are root harmonics of 440 hertz in the second octave, and yeah, everything is literally connected precisely to the calendar system, and it creates this mathematics that exposes the 19 circles in the flower of life and the 61 circles in the flower of life. 61 minutes equaling 101. 61 times 2 equals 122, when 122 minutes equals 202 in time. 61 circles in the flower of life times 3 equals 183, when 183 minutes equals 303 in time. So we've connected the flower of life with this code here, and it's that number 111 hertz. That's a solfeggio tone key through the chakra system. 963 hertz, your crown chakra, minus 111 hertz equals 852 hertz. 852 hertz minus 111 hertz, your holy frequency, equals 741 hertz. Why is it called the holy frequency? This is your inner temple. When we're going into our inner temple, you're going into your own underworld. And whenever you're rising above in consciousness, that's just using your imagination to observe. When you're rising above yourself with your imagination and seeing yourself from this higher observer, this observer is it's paying attention to the conversation that's happening within the masculine and feminine within your inner temple. And what's the masculine and feminine within your inner temple? The I and the me. The I is the masculine. The I is a pole. The me, that's your emotion. That's your intuition. That's your feeling, observation. Everything that you're taking in without projecting, everything that you're just taking in is your feminine. And everybody has a feminine portal in their mind, in their throat, in their heart, in their sacrum, in their solar plexus, in their root. And everybody has a masculine pole in their root, in their sacrum, in their solar plexus, in their heart chakra, in their throat, in their third eye audio, the auxiliary in, the auxiliary out. and your crown. So that's why this number is called the holy frequency, but because it literally is the space in between the notes of solfeggial tones. And the number 132, the Lemuria on 5/11 equals 132 days. They're celebrating the dead on that day, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1. So 111 and 132, these are the only two numbers that run through these 9 solfeggial tones. So 396 hertz plus 132 hertz equals 528 hertz. 417 hertz minus 132 hertz equals 285 hertz, your other solfeggio tone. And then 111 hertz, your holy frequency, that is your other. Those are the only two solfeggio tone keys. And for both of these numbers to represent Days of the Dead on 11/1, and then your Lemuria equaling 132 days. And these are the keys to go within the underworld. So for your Hypogeum Temple of Malta to resonate at 111 hertz, and your Cairns Underground Burial Ground, your Cairns Burial Mounds, and your Hypogeum Underground Temple of Malta to resonate at 111 hertz, and the Days of the Dead on 11/1, and this is the key to go within your inner temple. Last Supper was on 4/2, equaling your 42nd prime equals 181. The Last Supper was on 4/2. The Last Supper painting measures 181 inches. 42 days equals 1 month and 11 days, like 111. The date 4/20 on leap year equals 111 days, like 4/2. And 4/2 equals 67 hertz on leap year when 670 minutes equals 11:10 in time. So for all of those things that just keep lining up. So let's get into the proof of channeling this 181 symbol here on 5/19 of 2022. The electromagnetic color spectrum symbol, because if you flip that thing on its side, it literally is the electromagnetic symbol. If I have that thing anywhere. Do you? I guess I don't. Oh well. Oh wait, I do actually. The spider portal. I'm the guardian of the spider portal. And there's your 181 symbol there. If you turn that thing on its side, it's the 181. Let's see. Yeah, it's the 181. Returned on its side, and there's the 181. I did this by just drawing 4 circles using the Flower of Life circles to create a cross, to create an X. And your 24th letter is X. X being your 24th letter, and 24 mirrors 42, your 42nd prime equals 181. So the theme here, observing this, is all about synchronicity and precise mathematics. So we're going to get deep into this thing. So, channel the 181 on 5/19 of 2022, along with the 1331, this 383 symbol. And this was 11 days after channeling the 9th harmonic of the photon belt. So, yeah, actually get into that first. So on the day before, on 11 days before, on 5/9, I channeled that we're in the 9th harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse of the veil living this 44 hertz altered frequency. Yeah. On 5/9 of 2022, I channeled the 9th harmonic of the photon belt, allowing us a glimpse of the veil living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation. So 9 hertz is the note re. That's a solfeggio tone re. It's literally equals the note D. It's literally the divine feminine frequency. 432 hertz, 4 plus 3 plus 2 equals 9 hertz. So the fact that I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt on this day, this is the same day that I would research the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. 181, Romo slays Remo, and this is the fall of the Roman Republic. Remo is being slayed. The Republic is falling. Re equals 9 hertz. The etymology of Ro means man. More man slays more Re. The masculine slays the feminine. So, we're talking about the twins, right? So, and this is all about synchronicity. I'm just kind of prepping you before I go through this story. So, on 5-9, I wrote that we're in the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, and I had no idea what this even meant whenever I said it. It was a completely different post that I posted on Instagram on 5/19 or on 5/9 of 2022. That post is still there, and the date is there showing that this is true. And that same day, I would research the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo. The Republic falls. Remo gets slayed. Re equals 9 hertz. So Romo, the masculine, is slaying the divine feminine. And this is in 44 BC. So they're built. The argument between them was building the new city. So they're obviously building the new city with 44 hertz, and this is an allegory of the narrative of colonization. This is the United States of the Holy Roman Empire, or the Unholy Roman Empire. So on 5/19, had this experience channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. Now watch this shit. 11 days later, on 5/19, that's when I channeled the 181 symbol. I channeled this thing, the 181, 1331, 383, 1144 electromagnetic heart monogram. The 1144 hertz monogram would line up on my Thoth, the Jed Pillar chart at the heart, the most electromagnetic part of the body. And we're talking about the 181 symbol here. I know I'm going all over the place, but follow me here. So from 5/9, whenever I'm researching the story of Romo slaying his twin brother, the twins, like 11 being twins, and then channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt. Watch this. From 5/9, when I channeled the ninth harmonic of the photon belt, and Romo slaying his twin brother Remo, connecting Re with 9 hertz. 5/9 to 5/19 equals 11 days. Like your twins, 11 days equals 3.01% of the year. Like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. Channel the 181 on 5/19. 11 days after 5/9. Channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt when Re equals 9 hertz. Now watch this. This just keeps going. So your ninth harmonic is 99 hertz. When 99 minutes in time, or when 99 minutes equals 139 in time. Whenever I channel the ninth harmonic, or whenever I channel the 181 symbol, 11 days later, that was on 5/19, your 139th day of the year. And we're talking about the electromagnetic color spectrum symbol. This L11 here, L11, that's your electromagnetic force. Those are two opposing magnets. That's your positive and negative. That's your negative and positive. If I was to throw metal shards at that thing, it would create the 181 symbol, right? So 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. Watch this shit. So why is this electromagnetic? Remember when we flipped that thing up on its side, you get the electromagnetic color spectrum symbol. So where'd I go? 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528 hertz. The precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum connected to the sound system. Like your Indian move out to 1830 on 5/28. So see how all these numbers are the same? 138, 831, 381, 183. These are the numbers that separate winter solstice from summer solstice. 381 minutes equals 621 summer solstice. From winter solstice to summer solstice, it equals 183 days. So the 1331, I created this using the circles of the flower of life. Watch this shit. So counting the whole entire year, 383 days equals the date 118. 118 mirrors 811, when 811 minutes equals 1331 in time, like the 1331 sigil here. 59 the Lemuria. Romo says his twin brother Remo, remember? 59, 181. 59 plus 59 equals 118, like 118. This shit gets really weird. Watch this shit. We're using the circles from the Flower of Life. 19 circles in the Flower of Life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days, like 1331. 19 days. Where the fuck did that go? Yeah, 19 days equals 5.19% of the year. I channeled the 1331 on the date 519. Look at that. I used the circles of the Flower of Life to create this thing. And yeah, 1331. 19 circles in the Flower of Life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. When 19 days equals 5.19% of the year when I channeled the 1331 on 519. That's some synchronistic ass shit. So there's, if you look it up on Google, how many circles are there in the Flower of Life? It's going to tell you that there's 19 circles in the Flower of Life. It's also going to tell you that there's 61 circles in the Flower of Life. Now, if you flip 19 upside down, it's a 61. There's 61 circles in the Flower of Life. 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day, like the 181 symbol. We're using the circles of the Flower of Life here. So channeling the 181, or channeling the ninth harmonic of the photon belt on 5/9, the date that I channeled the 181, or that I, wait, no. Channeling the ninth harmonic on 5/9, the date that I would research the story of Romo saying his twin brother Remo, 181. And then on the 139th day of the year, on 5/19, I'd channel the 181 symbol. 199 minutes equals 139 in time. Like the ninth harmonic, 99 hertz. Channeling the ninth harmonic 11 days before, when 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. That's the order I was trying to say it in. So, the fact that the 1144 hertz heart monogram lines up here, the most electromagnetic organ of the body, the heart. And I channeled the 1144 hertz monogram on this same day, the 139th day. Watch this. 1144 hertz minus 181 equals 963 hertz, the ninth harmonic in the solfeggio tone frequency. And whenever you subtract 1144 hertz from the date that lines up here, the date that lines up on the Djed Pillar calendar cipher system here is 1005, and that can be written as 10.5 or 10.005. 1144 hertz minus 10.005 equals 139, your ninth harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. So, yeah, moving on from that. This is basically going through the days that separate these major channeling events, and yeah, just so you folks know that I'll just go through this information and we'll recap it afterwards. I channeled Horus, the falcon sun god of ancient Egypt, on 4/8 of 2021, 117 years precisely after Crowley did at noon sharp. 117 years later, when the King's Chamber, the granite sarcophagus in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramids of Giza, measures 117 hertz vibrational value. 77 minutes equals 117 in time. The gematria for Falcon God equals 77 and 181, spelling it the same way in two different cipher codes. So, Leo the Lion holds the Flower of Life. There's 61 circles in the Flower of Life. Leo mirrored and flipped equals 037. Leo holds the Flower of Life. There's 61 circles in the Flower of Life. 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 661 minutes equals 101 in time. Now 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals the date 4/8, the date that I channeled Horus the Falcon Sun God. He's on the dollar bill. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. George Washington's on the dollar bill. It's like they're using the knowledge of the Egyptians to make a big mockery of the original knowledge. So 37 degrees in Freemasonry times 48 equals 1776, the year that the U.S. claimed their first 13 colonies in 1776, the year that the Bavarian Illuminati were founded in 1776 by your former Jesuit. 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 59 Lemuria, using this exact same formula and equation. And that's the same day that I would channel the ninth harmonic of that photon belt, giving us a glimpse of the veil living in this 44 hertz altered frequency simulation when 59 Lemuria 181 was in 44 BC. Like 44 hertz, 44 BC, 44 hertz. So, yeah, it also researched the story of Ramo Singh's twin brother Remo in 59 Lemuria 44 BC 181. Discovered that Re equals 9 hertz equaling node D. I channeled the ninth harmonic that same day. The ninth harmonic equals 99 hertz when 99 minutes equals 139 in time. On the 139th day, I channeled the 181 electromagnetic frequency on 519. 11 days later, like 11 days equaling 3.01% of the year, 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So 2 months and 20 days later, after 519, I would channel the Thought to Jet pillars, connecting frequency with time and our calendar system, creating the Thought to Jet pillars, revealing the fractals of space-time, no big deal. And that's 2 months and 20 days later, when 8 equals 220 days, and 22 days equals 528 hours, like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days, like 528. And this was 220 days after I channeled the 181 symbol on 519, when, let's see, that's another version of Thought to Jet pillars. When 88 months equals 7 years, 4 months, and 1 day, like 741 hertz, and 519 days equals 74 weeks and 1 day, like 741 hertz. I channeled the 181 symbol on 519. I channeled the Thought to Jet pillars on 88. And from 88, channeling the Thought to Jet pillars, the Lords of the Nine, connecting the Lords of the Nine with the 9 solfeggio tones, plus 139 days, equaling 4 months and 17 days, like your sacrum chakra, your solfeggio tone, 417 hertz. So 88, channeling Thought, the Jet pillars, the Lords of the Nine, plus 139 days, like your ninth harmonic, equaling 99 hertz, and 99 minutes equaling 139 in time. From 88 plus 139 days equals 1225, Christmas Day, the date that Horus was resurrected. And on that day, I haven't told you guys this story, I don't think. Yeah, on Christmas morning, I was dropping deuce. I woke up early and got on the pot and started dropping a deuce, and I was sitting there with my eyes closed, and I was ready to go back to sleep. And that's the picture of the transformer outside of my house. I heard a giant explosion, and I see a giant white flash in my third eye when my eyes were closed. Literally a plasma flash. And the sound of the explosion and the flash happening all at the same time. So I wipe my ass, I go outside, and I see this hawk. The thing has a giant hole blown through its chest. This thing was massive. The hawk and the hole were both freaking massive, and this happened on Christmas morning, the date that Horus, the Falcon Sun God, was apparently resurrected after passing away on winter solstice. So for this to happen on 12/25, this was 7 years and 7 months after channeling the 181 symbol on 519, when 77 minutes equals 117 in time. The Gematria Falcon Sun God equals 77 and 181. Channeled Horus the Falcon Sun God 117 years after Crowley did on 4/8, when 48 days equals 1 month and 17 days, like 117. Synchronicities, kids, just a bunch of synchronicities. I don't really know exactly what it all means, but let's talk about the language that you guys are all speaking, and thinking to yourselves that your stories are being told in their most authentic truth, whenever there's so much more to this language that we're being given. So when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays. Your 7th Modic cell division is 128. The G in Freemasonry is your 7th letter. 7 mirrored and flipped is L. And the frequency of the flower of life equals 128 hertz. So this is just like a legend, basically, to let you see what this square L, how it lines up with the number 73 and 113, and how this intertwines. So watch how all of this intertwines. So we're talking about 44 hertz on my cipher system here, lines up with the cube. That's L. That's a square. That's a 90-degree square, equaling L, right? Just like that, it's a 90-degree square. So 44 hertz lines up with the hexahedron, L. So L equals the square equals the cube. L mirrored and flipped, 73. Mirrored and flipped, it's L. Mirrored and flip that, it's 73. 73 minutes equals 113 in time. 113 minutes, 113 mirrors 311. Like 311 or 11.3, however you want to say it. Your L 11th letter, K, and your 3rd letter, C, these both share the same Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon, Germanic rune, which is an L. Flip that back 45 degrees. It's an L. So that equals L, that equals L, it equals the square. So L Evan, your electromagnetic force. L Evan times L Evan equals 121. L mirrored and flipped is a 73, right? Flip that upside down. It's a 73. 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. See that right there? 73 minutes equals 113 in time. Mirrored and flip that, it's 311. The date 311 equals 44 hertz. My calendar cipher system, when 44 hertz lines up with the hexahedron, the cube, L equals L equals L equals L. Round and round we go. 44 hertz tuning, you can see the cube. You can see L in there. So let's get to know some Freemason mathematics and sigil science. This is alchemy. The electrolytes that you digest in your sacrum. Here in your kidneys, if you're stressed out all the time, you're secreting cortisol, and that's going up into your DNA. And if you're secreting bicarbonates, those are electrolytes. And that fuels your oxidative phosphorylation going up into your solar plexus, and that's what we manifest. We manifest with our solar plexus. Thoughts and all of our thoughts, our inner monologue, our outer monologue. So get to know this number L. It's a square. The G is the 7th letter in Freemasonry. The 7 mirrored and flipped is an L. The 7th Modic cell division equals 128. 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals L. Evan. L. L equals L. Your 3rd and 11th letter, C and K, they both share the same Gothic, Norfolk, Anglo-Saxon rune, which is L. Flip it back, it's a letter, like a Freemason apron letter. So the order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 911 in Roman numerals. 911 minutes equals 311 in time. 511 in time equals 311 minutes. Like the Lemuria mocking the dead on 511. This is about colonization. Remo slays his twin brother Remo. 181 and 44 BC. 511 in time equals 311 minutes. When the date 311 lands on 44 hertz on my calendar cipher, like 511 and 44 BC, the Roman Republic falls, the Roman Empire begins. Colonization. So folks doing decodes and trying to decipher the matrix and the calendar, it's not going to be done until you start deciphering the O and the straight line, the masculine and the feminine. 432 hertz, 9 hertz represents the feminine. So when we divide this by the golden angle, like an angle, divided by the fallen angel, or the golden angle, 137.5, equals 3.14, your pi. Let's follow the pi. The date 314 equals 73 days, equaling 47 hertz. like 47 degrees, separating Tropic of Cancer with Tropic of Capricorn, your winter solstice from summer solstice. 47 degrees in Freemasonry, 73 mirrored and flipped as L, 470 minutes equals 7:50 in time, when 7:30 in time equals 7.5 hours, connecting 73 and 47 with 75 right there, and 73 and 47 with 314. Not only that, it keeps connecting, watch, 4 months and 7 days equals 5-7, mirroring 7-5, right? When 75 minutes equals 1:15 in time, and 1:15 mirrors 5:11, and 5:11 equals 132 days, when 132 minus 75 equals 57. There's 75 mirroring 57 once again. So the date 5-7 equals 128 days. Like your 7th mitotic cell division equaling 128, your frequency of the flower of life equaling 128 hertz, 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time, like 61 circles in the flower of life, 19 circles in the flower of life times 3 equals 57. So this number 128, it's a major colonization code. 101 plus 128 days equals 59 the Lemuria. Colonization 181. Let's see. 101 plus 59 days equals 301. The date 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 301 days equals the date 1028, when 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 1129. The date that Resolution 181 was established, splitting Palestine into 2 states, creating Israel. And 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals the date 229. Alessandro Farnese's birthday, the guy that created and approved the Jesuit order. So 1280 days equals 182 weeks. 311 equals 182 days after 9/11, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820, a victory for Jesuit slaveholders. Your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11 of 1861, a victory for Jesuit slaveholders. Your Jewish Colonization Association of 9/11 on 1891. Colonization, association, colonization. I mean, and here is your colonizer's mascot right here. This guy being at the elections with Trump. The gematria for Trump is 470. He's the 47th president. And you guys just saw all of this 47 shit here. Trump's on the Balfour Declaration coin. And the Balfour Declaration was issued in 1917, and that's what promised Palestine and Israel to Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild. That was written up by Chaim Weizmann, a biochemist who would later become president of Israel. And 47 days, like you're 47th president, and 47 degrees in Freemasonry, and the gematria for Trump being 470, and 47 days equals 1129 hours, like Resolution 181 established on 1129, and that was set up by the Balfour Declaration. Trump's on the Balfour Declaration coin. Interesting. And the elections were on 11/5, when 75 minutes equals 1:15 in time. L, mirrored and flipped, is 73. 7:30 in time equals 7.5 hours. 73 minutes equals 1:13 in time. The elections in 2020 were on 11/3. Your elections. And the day after Trump was inaugurated was the date January 21st, 121, like L. Evan times L. Evan equaling 121. The Illuminati was founded on 501 equaling 121 days, when 501 minutes in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. Yeah, this guy was with him, and he's part of the administration now. And L on, he's an L eat, and he has L Evan kids, when L Evan days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. His company's X, like the photon representing the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, and the 24th letter is X, and your 24 mirrors 42, and your 42nd prime equals 181, like your Last Supper on 4-2, and the Last Supper measures 181 inches. He was born on 6/28. His birthday is June 28th. That's 6/28, equaling 5 months and 28 days. Like 181 days, equaling 5 months and 28 days. And L mirrored and flipped is 7/3. When the date 7/3 equals 181 days remain. And he has 11 kids, 11. That's the electromagnetic force symbol, is the 11, the two opposing magnets. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 time. L mirrored and flipped is 73. The date 73 equals 181 days remain. Yeah, he was born on 6/28 when 6/28 minutes equals 10/28 in time, and the date 10/28 equals 301 days. And 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 11/29, the date that resolution 181 was established. He is just a mascot. So there's your L Evan times L Evan equaling 121. L mirrored and flipped is 73. 730 minutes equals 12/10 time. Crowley passed away on 12/1. The Illuminati was founded on 5/01 equaling 121 days, when 5/01 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. L Evan days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. Oh, yeah. Your Colonization Association, created by Bavarian philanthropist Maurice de Hirsch on 1891 of 9/11, plus 110 years. 11, L, Evan. This is the root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. 110 hertz is your root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave. So 9/11, your Bavarian philanthropist Maurice de Hirsch created this Colonization Association in 1891 on 9/11, plus 110 years on the dot to 9/11 of 2001. Never forget, remember? Hit by Flight 11. L. Evan, hit by Flight 11. The Twin Towers being two twins and 110 stories. So yeah, their grand opening being on 4/4 of 1973, when the root harmonic of 44 hertz in the second octave is 110 hertz. This is separated by 110 years precisely, and to be hit by Flight L11 being 110 stories. The order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9/11. 9/11 minutes equals 311 in time. 9/11 plus 181 days. Resolution 181 equals the date 311, equaling 44 hertz on my calendar cipher system. The adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311, and the Colonization Association created on 9/11, when 9/11 minutes equals 311 in time. 5/11 Lemuria, 44 BC. 5/11 in time equals 311 minutes. 181 Romo Caesar's twin brother Emo, and L. Evan 11, Flight 11, 110 stories. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. This guy, of course, was born on 10/28, like 101 plus 10 months. 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday, who created the Jesuit order in 1540. 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria. Romo Caesar's twin brother Remo. 181 and 44 BC. Colonization. The Republic falls. The Empire begins. The Unholy Roman Empire. 59 Lemuria. 101 plus 59 days equals the date 301. 301 days equals the date 10/28. 181 minutes equals 301 in time. Like 59 Lemuria. 181. When concluding with 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 11/29, the date that resolution 181 was established, splitting Palestine into two states, creating Israel. And yeah, your seventh Matic cell division equaling 128. The frequency of the flower of life equaling 128 hertz. L mirrored and flipped is a 7. Your seventh Matic cell division. And you can see that That's Pope Paul III, Alessandro Farnese. He was born on 229. And this Lemuria code, it's simply a code. It's a colonization code. 590 minutes equals 9:50 in time. 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time. The date 4/4 equals 95 days, like 9/5, and the date 6/3 equals 181 days. The date 6/30 equals 181 days. The date 6/3 equals 154 days, like the Jesuits founded in 1540, when 9/27 equaling 95 days remain, like 590 minutes equaling 9:50 in time, and 4/4, the date equaling 95 days. And the Illuminati were founded on 501, equaling 95 hertz. My calendar cipher system here. 95 times 95, 9.5 plus 9.5 equals 19 circles in the flower of life. A giant round and round circle we go in, and 131 minutes equals 211 in time. Your 47th prime is 211. 190 weeks equals 1331 in time, or equals 1331 days. 1331 days, or 1331 in time equals 131. I'm running out of steam. Take a little breath. So this cube, L, the Jerusalem cross here, the one that's on one of Trump's administration's chests, I'm not going to mention any names, but that's on one of their chests there. This thing was created in the 1280s, of course. 1,280 days equals 182 weeks, like the date 5/7 equals 128 days. 57 weeks equals 404 days. 570 minutes equals 9.5 hours, like the date 404 equaling 95 days. The date 5/7 equals 18 weeks in 1 day, equaling 18 weeks in 2 days on leap year, like 182. So the date 7/1 ends with 570 hertz, like 5/7, equaling 182 days, like 5/7 equaling 128 days, and 1280 days equaling 182 weeks. See how that's fractalizing there? So the date 3/11 equals 71 days, equaling 182 days after 9/11. Your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11. Colonization. 9/11. 9/11 minutes equals 3/11 in time, and 3/11 equaling 182 days after 9/11. Your Missouri Compromise of 1820, a victory for Jesuit slaveholders. So 182 weeks equaling 1280 days, and that whole equation of 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnese's birthday, the guy that approved the Jesuit order. 101 plus 128 days equals 5/9 of Maria. Romo says his twin brother Remo. 181 and 44 BC. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 11/29, the date that resolution 181 was established, like 181. It's not rocket science. Once you see the code and have it organized, it's pretty simple to see. Let's do this one first here. So the number 128, your seventh Maitic cell division being 128. The Last Supper measures 181 inches, right? The famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci. The Last Supper was on 4/2 when your 42nd prime equals 181. So remember this, because remember the mockery of this on the opening ceremony of the Olympics on 7/26 of 2024. From 128 to 7/26, mocking the Last Supper equals 181 days. I mean, come on, y'all. This guy was a Knights of Malta and the Skull and Bones fraternity, and their number is 322, the Brotherhood of Death. From 322 to the opening ceremony of the Olympics on 7/26, mocking the Last Supper equals 18 weeks in 1 day, like 181, like the Last Supper, measuring 181 inches, and the Last Supper being on 4/2 and the 42nd prime equaling 181. Interesting. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper 181 to the 77th year anniversary of Resolution 181 on 11/29 equals 18 weeks and 1 day, equaling 4 months and 4 days, like 181, 59 Lemuria, and 44 BC, and like Resolution 181. One giant mockery. And speaking of twins and sacrificing pillars, like on 9/11 when the North Tower collapsed at 10:28, like 1:28. So the film Leave the World Behind was a giant psyops mocking of the story of Romo slaying his twin brother Remo and the colonization of the Republic and the Empire, beginning the unholy Roman Empire taking over, and the colonization of the Republic. So Leave the World Behind was a psyops to this event of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, the pillar being hit. So they hit the pillar at 1:28, just like the North Tower on 9/11 collapsed, and at 10:28 precisely. So, and that was hit by Flight L11, being 110 stories tall, 110 years after 9/11 of 1891, when the Jewish Colonization Association was created by Bavarian philanthropist Maurice de Hirsch. So, Leave the World Behind. This was a psyops to this event happening, this colonization ritual happening. There was a cargo ship on the cover of Leave the World Behind. There was a buck on the cover of Leave the World Behind. And this movie had the plot was about the apocalypse on Earth and everything going to shit, and all of us being basically screwed. So the release date in theaters for Leave the World Behind was on 11/22, equaling 326 days, like the Francis Scott Key Bridge being hit on 3/26, lining up with 59 hertz on my calendar cipher system, like the Lemuria on 5/9, Romo slays his twin brother Remo, 181 on 5/9 Lemuria. So the release date on Netflix was on December 8th, like 128, 12/8, like 128. The frequency of the flower of life equaling 128 hertz, like the seventh matic cell division equaling 128. 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals L11. 101 plus 128 days equals 5/9 Lemuria. 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday, they got that privileged Jesuit order. And 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 11/29. Resolution 181 was established, splitting Palestine into 2 states, creating Israel. And this is a giant ritual promoting all of that shit. So, from the Francis Scott Key Bridge was hit by a cargo ship on 3/26, like the release date being on the 326th day, at 1:28, like the Netflix release date being on 12/8. 128 days before Francis Scott Key's birthday and 128 days after Biden's birthday, LA scored 128 points against the Bucks. The Buck was on the other cover of Leave the World Behind. This was following the lunar eclipse on 10/28, equaling 301 days, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time. The North Tower on 9/11 collapsed at 10/28. The cargo ship had a Singapore flag raised, like if you were to sing the note A, the solfeggio tone La, poorly, it would be in 44 hertz. It would be in 44 hertz. Like LA, the solfeggio tone for La, or for A, solfeggio tone La for A, equaling 44 hertz. And let's see, the gematria for bridge collapse equals 128. And that's what happened whenever they hit the pillar. A ritual of knocking down, sacrificing the twins once again. So, whoa. Yeah, so So, on 129 on runway 33, 67 people perished with the flight from Kansas City. American Eagle flight collided with the helicopter. 1,830 days from Kobe Bryant being unalived in the helicopter. The Black Mamba going into the year of the snake. Like the Indian rule after 1830, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson. 1830, 1830. Right? So this goes with the equation of Christ being crucified on 4-3, equaling 67 hertz on my calendar cipher system at age 33 in 33 AD, when 4-3 equals 3 months and 3 days, like runway 33, like 67 people passing, and 1830 days separating these two events. And your Indian move up to 1830. 1830 converts to 1110 minutes in military time, and 670 minutes equals 1110 minutes, or 1110 in time, like your Days of the Dead on 11-1, and 67 people passing, and runway 33, 183 minutes equals 303 in time, and the date 6-7 equals 330 hertz. Round and round we go with this thing. And yeah, that was on runway 33, and whenever we line up runway 33 over all these solar eclipses that happened, it ends up lining over the one on 4-8, and keep that in mind. Let's see. Oh, I don't know what I did with that one. But yeah, let's go back to this right here. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, so from the American Eagle flight colliding with the helicopter on runway 33 with 67 people perishing, that being 1830 days in between Kobe being unalived in the heli on 1/26/2020, the Black Mamba going into the year of the snake, like your fugitive slave act, like your Indian move up to 1830, and on 1/29/2025 to the first day of the year of the snake, to 2/2 of 2025, the 67th annual Grammy Awards, on the 33rd day of the year equals 5 days, equaling 1.37% of the year, like your 33rd prime equaling 137, like 67 people perishing on runway 33, 1830 days after the Black Mamba was unalived in the heli, when 183 minutes converts to 303 in time, and all that shit. Christ was crucified on 4-3, equaling 67 hertz, age 33 and 33 AD, when 4-3 equals 3 months and 3 days. For all of this to just line up, and it's just ridiculous. Because, yeah, from Kobe being unalived on the 1/26 of 2020 to the day after the Daytona 500, the 67th anniversary equals 1,850 days, like the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. 185 minutes equals 305 in time. Abraham Lincoln Gematria equals 305. Trump mentioned that he was going to recently eliminate the penny, and he was at the Daytona 500. And this is on 2/16. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 2/16. And the 67th annual Grammy Awards on the 33rd day, 5 days after 129, equaling 137% of a year, your 33rd prime equaling 137. Abraham Lincoln's on your $5 bill. 5 days separate that. And the mass record hanging of Abraham Lincoln being on 12/26. And all those same numbers are being used. 12/26 of 2024 was your 162-year anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging. 12/26, 162. Those are all the same numbers. Kobe Bryant was unalived on 1/26. Those are the same numbers. 2/16. The NASCAR or the Daytona 500 was on 216. Same numbers. 129, the runway 33 and 67 people perishing. Oh, the 9's not. Flip this mirror and flip it upside down. It's a 621. Like 126 mirrors 621. So it's a lot of fuckery going on here. Yeah, 6 to the third power equals 2160. Like the date 6-3 equaling 154 days, and the Jesuits founded in 1540, and the date 630 equaling 181 days, like your resolution 181. And 216 equals 47 days, like your 47 degrees in Freemasonry, equaling 1 month and 16 days. Mirror and flip 116. It's 9/11. Here's your mass record hanging by Abraham Lincoln. This is the Daytona 500 on February 16th, the 67th anniversary, like your 67th annual Grammy Awards, on the 33rd day, 5 days after runway 33, 67 people perishing. 5 days equals 1.37% of the year, when your 33rd prime equals 137. I mean, whoever planned this is ridiculous. Geometry for Trump equals 88. 88 minutes equals 128 in time. 88 miles per hour times 137.5 photon absorption. Your golden angle equals 1.21 gigawatts. L11 times L11 equals 121. When L mirrored and flipped is 73, and 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. So these are Gothic Norfolk Anglo-Saxon runes, and the rune for ice is your 9th letter, I. This is the masculine. This is the, whenever you're thinking to yourself, that's the masculine. And for that to be ice and to mean blindness, treachery, illusion, deceit, betrayal, stealth, ambush, plots, and this is a pole. That's the pole of duality right there. A straight line. That's a masculine. That's a L. Masculine pole. And the pole ice. And what happened whenever look at the gematria for human trafficking equals 550. Who were the first human traffickers? Colonizers. The encomienda. The Indian Removal Act of 1830. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Resolution 181. 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, like Resolution 181. Colonization. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like the Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 528. And Resolution 181. Colonization. The elimination of nearly 55 million, 90% of indigenous people in the Americas during European colonization led to a global climate change. Remember the geometry of climate change equals 101 and all that shit? And it led to a little ice age. A little ice age, huh? A masculine age. A pole ice age. Holy shit. Yeah, all these people being deployed and deported. Dude. And if we look at the 64 codons of the DNA, it's shaped with the 8-pointed star. And these Gothic Norfolk runes fit perfectly onto these stars. These are little monograms that they created this language with, and this is what the English language is derived from. So whenever you're looking at the digit pillar calendar cipher system, whenever the date 311 lines up with 44 hertz, and L mirrored and flipped is 73, 73 minutes equals 113 in time, 113 mirrors 311. L is the square, take away the E, it's the square, it's a cube. That's where 44 hertz lines up with the hexahedron. Geometry for Thor's rune is a square. Radium is a nuclide formed from the decay of uranium. These are electrolytes. Thorium is an electrolyte, like bicarbonate, aluminum. These are all electrolytes that dissolve in our bodies through ionization, and our solar plexus above this at 55, where your pancreas is secreting enzymes that turn proteins into amino acids that acts as a hydrochloric acid working with the bicarbonate, creating carbonic acid, just like in the Queen's Chamber of the Pyramids of Giza, measures 11.88 cubits, and the base of the pyramid measures 440 cubits. They found zinc, an electrolyte, and hydrochloric acid in the Queen's Chamber, just like how bicarbonate is an electrolyte secreted in the kidneys, and it fuels oxidative phosphorylation. Your pancreas above is secreting the enzymes that act as a hydrochloric acid that worked with the bicarbonate, creating a piezoelectric ultrasonic acoustic waves within the body of inner bioluminescence piezoelectric effect. What the fuck is going on here? So yeah, this whole Christ being crucified on 4-3 equaling 67 hertz at age 33 and 33 AD, when 4-3 equals 3 months and 3 days. 67 minutes equals 107 in time. Like the Gaza Strip on 10-7 from resolution 181 to Lemuria 5-9 and 44 BC. It's a colonization code, and it's very simple mathematics here. It's not rocket science. 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:30 in time. The date 6:30 equals 181 days. And 5 hours, 590 minutes equals 950 in time, when the date 4-4 equals 95 days. So it's just a little colonization equation that they've managed to fractalize and put it in the reality, build the reality with this Gregorian calendar system. So the other day was 211. The Balfour Declaration mirrors 211. 11-2 mirrors 211. Your 47th prime is 211. Your 47 degrees in Freemasonry. 47 days equals 1129. That's the date that Resolution 181 was established by the UN, splitting Palestine into 2 states, creating Israel. The dimension for Trump equals 470. Trump is the 47th president. He was on the Balfour Declaration coin issued in 2017. The Balfour Declaration promised Palestine and Israel. Lord Lionel Walter Rothschild in 1917, setting up Resolution 181. That was established by the UN on 11/29 of 1947. Remember, 47 days equals 11/29 hours. 47th president. He's on the Balfour Declaration coin, and that was established on 11/29 of 1947. Plus 131 days later, on 4/7, the WHO was created by the UN as well. When 131 minutes equals 211 in time, your 47th prime equals 211. When 2 months and 11 days equals the date 311, the date that the WHO declared that. And the Balfour Declaration that was written up by Chaim Weizmann, a biochemist who would later become president of Israel after 1948, after its creation. That's the top, the Jed Pillar. And yeah, now that you folks know those numbers there, 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. Rumble says twin brother in 44 BC. The Last Supper measures 181 inches. You guys know all that already, if you can remember it, if you've been taking any notes. Now from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, when they're mocking the Last Supper, 181 here. On 7/26, ceremony meaning ritual, to the first holy door of the Vatican being opened on 12/24 by your first Jesuit Pope, Francis, equals 4 months and 28 days, when 4 months and 28 days equals the date 5/28. Like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days. Like the fugitive slave act, like the Indian move after 1830 on 5/28. Now from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the opening of the second holy door on 12/26 equals 154 days. Like the Jesuits founded in 1540 and the Pope Francis, the first Jesuit Pope, opening the portal door on the 162-year anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging on 12/26. Interesting. From the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, opening the third holy portal door on 12/29, the anniversary of the Battle of Wounded Knee, the deadliest mass shooting on the Lakota people by the U.S. Army, equals 157 days, like the date 6/6 equaling 157 days. The date 4/2 equals 66 hertz on my calendar cipher system, like the Last Supper on 4/2, the 42nd prime being 181, and the Last Supper measuring 981 inches. I know I'm mumbling, but I'm trying to just spit this shit out fast. Alright, from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26, to the opening of the fourth Holy Door on 101 of 2025 equals 5 months and 7 days, when the date 5/7 equals 18 weeks and 1 day, like 181. 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time, like 61 circles in the Flower of Life, and 61 minutes equaling 101. The date 5/7 equals 128 days on leap year, like 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equaling 229. Alessandro Farnese's birthday together approved the Jesuit order. We got the first Jesuit Pope opening all these portal doors. Get the fuck out of here. 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria. Roma says his twin brother Rima. 181. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 11/29, the date that resolution 181 was established. So, from the opening ceremony of the Olympics, mocking the Last Supper on 7/26 to the opening of the last fifth Holy Door on 1/5 equals 5 months and 11 days, like the Lemuria on 5/11, equaling 132 days on leap year. 132 minus 57 equals 75. Those same numbers popping up once again. 5/11 in time equals 3:11 minutes. And yeah, 5/11 in time equals 3:11 minutes. 5/11 Lemuria, 181, 44 BC, colonization. The adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11. The Colonization Association on 9/11, when 9/11 minutes equals 3:11 in time, and 5/11 in time equals 3:11 minutes. 9/11 plus resolution 181 days equals the date 3/11, equaling 44 hertz on my calendar cipher system. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 101 plus 3 months and 7 days equals the date 4/8. The 101 plus 4 months and 8 days equals 5/9 in Lemuria. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 4:10 in time. The date 4/10 equals 101 days equaling 75 hertz. When 101 plus 4 months and 10 days equals 5/11, the Lemuria, using that same exact fucking formula that we've been using this whole entire time. So, now that you know the number, power 5/7 and 181 and 5 months and 28 days and how those all equate to 181, maybe you'll all get this right here from the Maui fires on 8/08 to the Gaza attacks on 10/7 equals 61 days, like 61 circles in the Flower of Life and 61 minutes equaling 101. And Leo the Lion mirrored and flipped is 037. Leo holds the Fire of Life. There's 61 circles in the Fire of Life and 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 61 minutes equals 101. 101 minutes equals 141. From the Indian Move Act of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson, to your establishment of Resolution 181 on 11/29 of 1947, endorsed by your other Grandmaster Mason, President Harry Truman, equals 1410 months, like 101 equaling 141, and 37 and 61 and all that shit. So, from 8/08 Maui fires to Gaza attacks equals 61 days, 61 minutes equaling 101. Your geometry for portals equals 101. Your geometry for Palestine equals 101. Your geometry for equals 101. So, this thing just tried to disconnect on me. What a surprise. So, from the Paradise fires on 11/8/2018 to your Maui fires on 8/08 of 2022 equals 57 months. 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time, like 61 circles in the Flower of Life. 570 minutes equals 9.5 hours. The date 404 equals 95 days. 57 weeks equals 404 days, like 404, the date equaling 95 days. So, yeah, just watch that shit. So, from the Harvest Music Festival in Vegas on 10/1, like 101, 2017, the Paradise Fires on 11/8 of 2018 equals 57 weeks, equaling 404 days. From the Harvest Music Festival on 10/1 of 2017, the Maui fires involving the same guy on 8/08 the Lahaina fires equals 70 months and 7 days, like 707. 101 plus 707 equals 808. God's attacks on 10/7 of 2023 to the Taiwan earthquake on 4/3, the date that Christ was crucified, equals 5 months and 28 days. 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. That's the same one, right? That's a different one. It's the same shit though. From the Maui fires on 8/08 of 2023 to the Chile fires on 2/5 of 2024 equals 181 days, equaling 5 months and 28 days. I mean, come on, seriously. The Jews were founded in 927, equaling 95 days remain. From the Elk fires, L Evan times L Evan equals 121. Your Illuminati were founded on 501, equaling 121 days. 730 minutes equals 1210 in time. 730 mirrored and flipped is L. From the Elk fires and Hurricane Helena, both those happened on the same day of 927, your anniversary of the Jesuits on 2024, to the Malibu fires on 12/10 of 2024 equals 1776 hours, equaling 74 days. Like the Illuminati founded in 176, like the Illuminati founded in 1776 on 501, equaling 121 days. When 501 in time equals 181 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 501 in time equals 301 minutes, and 181 minutes equals 301 in time. I don't know if I said that right. But yeah, 730 in time equals 1210 minutes. L Evan times L Evan equals 121. Your Elk fires. This one is just, they really put their signature on that one right there. From the Malibu fires on 12/10 of 24 to the LA fires on 1/7 of 2025 equals 4 weeks and 1 day. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 370 minutes equals 610 in time. 3 hours and 70 minutes equals 410 in time, like 4 weeks and 1 day. Sneaky, sneaky. So your Palisades on 1/7, your Palestine on 10/7. You see that? So the Chile fires on 2/5 of 2024. Your Texas Smokehouse fires on 2/26 of 2024 equals 528 hours. From the Chile fires on 2/5 of 2024 to the Taiwan earthquake on 4/3 equals 59 days. Like the Lemuria on 5/9, 5 hours and 90 minutes equals 6:10 in time, or 6:30 in time. When the day is 6:30 equals 181 days. But yeah, that's all she wrote, kids. Actually, that's not all she wrote. Got some more slides up here. Just some receipts because of channeling the 181 symbol and then finding this whole thing. And remember, your Grandmaster Mason, Harry Truman, approved this or endorsed Resolution 181. This happened on 11/29 of 1947. 47 days equals 1129 hours. And when the British decided to terminate their mandate in 1947 and transfer the question of Palestine to the United Nations, the Jews already had an army that was formed out of the armed paramilitary groups trained and created to fight side by side with the British in World War II. More importantly, the British allowed them to establish self-governing institutions such as the Jewish Agency to prepare themselves for a state when it came to it, when the Palestinians were forbidden from doing so, paving the way for the 1948 ethnic cleansing of Palestine. And the Havar Agreement, this was an agreement between the German and Zionist organization on the 25th of August, 1933, an agreement that was finalized 3 months talks the Zionist Federation of Germany and the Anglo-Palestine Bank under the directive of the Jewish Agency and the economic authorities of Nazi Germany. It was a major factor of making possible the migration of approximately 60,000 German Jews to Palestine between 1933 and 1939. So if the necessary solution for the Holocaust was genociding Palestinians, and explain the Balfour Declaration, explain the Havar Agreement, explain Baron Edmund Rothschild and him having settlements in Ottoman Palestine in 1882, and Moses Montefiore having settlements in 1860. So this is the Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11 of 1891, created by a Bavarian philanthropist Baron Maurice de Hirsch. His father was a banker of a Bavarian king, and he was made into baron status, just like Queen Victoria made Nathaniel Rothschild and Moses Montefiore, both Freemasons, into baron status. And Nathaniel Rothschild's son was Lionel Walter Rothschild, and he's the one that received the Balfour Declaration. Queen Victoria, her great-great-granddaughter, was the late Queen Elizabeth, and she was a Knights of Malta, just like Edgar Cayce was a Knights of Malta, and he was a director of the CIA, and his famous quote was, "We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false." William J. Cayce, CIA director, same one that was appointed during the Reagan administration, and your Ronald Reagan National Airport, runway 33, and Resolution 181, 33 votes were voted in. I just think it's all like a tribute to those things, I feel like. So yeah, her great-grandmother was Queen Victoria, and she made Moses Montefiore and Nathaniel Rothschild into baron status. Nathaniel Rothschild's son was Lionel Walter Rothschild. He received the Balfour Declaration. And who else was Knights of Malta? George W. Bush, Rudy Giuliani. Knights of Malta. There's Chaim Weissman. He wrote the Balfour Declaration that got passed down, or that was given to Lionel Walter Rothschild, Nathaniel Rothschild's son, who received that baron status that was given by Queen Victoria, who was married to her first cousin, Prince Albert. Ew. Yeah, the CIA is both the Mossad and the CIA. I'm sure everybody knows that by now. And yeah, the Black Mamba being unalived on 1/26 of 2020 to the first day of the year of the going into the year of the snake, like Black Mamba equals 1830 days, like your Indeed move out to 1830 on 5/28, signed out by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson, and 67 people perished on runway 33 when Christ was crucified on 4/3 at age 33 and 33 AD, when the date 4/3 equals 3 months and 3 days, and the date 4/3 lines up with 67 hertz in my calendar cipher system, and 670 minutes equals 11:10 in time, like the days of the dead on 11/1, and 1830 in military time equals 1:01 in 0 minutes, like the days of the dead on 1:11, and 1,830 days separating Kobe Bryant being unalived in the helicopter, and this flight from Kansas, American Eagle flight, flying with the helicopter, 11 days before Kansas City and Philadelphia Eagles were playing in the Super Bowl. 11 days before that, like 11 days equaling 3.01% of the year, and 181 days equaling 181 minutes equaling 3:01 in time. That's supposed to be minutes. That threw me off right there. So, this little colonization code, it runs super deep. Whenever I was in Utah at the Capitol, I noticed that Brigham Young's, two of his Mormon battalion were at Sutter's Mill when James Marshall panned the first gold, setting off the California Gold Rush of 1850. And he was a board member of the Union Pacific Railroad Company, and that was the railroad from Sacramento to Promontory Point, Utah, transporting all that gold from Sutter's Mill and Sutter's Mill, Coloma, Placerville, Auburn City, Nevada City, Grass Valley. All that gold was being shipped. All those people that were being enslaved and mining that was coming over here to Utah, where Brigham Young, he founded Utah on Pioneer Day on 7/24, when 181 times 4 equals 7/24. It took him 111 days to arrive to Utah, like the Union Pacific Railroad being 1,110 kilometers in length, like the Days of the Dead on 11/1, and your Indian Move Act of 1830, and your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, when 1830 in military time equals 18.5 hours, equaling 1:10 minutes. Resolution 181, your receipt for that, if you look at the receipt, they got 11,100 square miles and 42% of the territory there of 14,100 kilometers. Like your number 141, the landmark number in front of Hangman's Tree, your 42nd prime being 181, and we're talking about resolution 181. The Last Supper being on 4.2 when the Last Supper painting measures 181 inches. So Brigham Young's Mormon Battalion, they were responsible for the Circleville Massacre on 4/21, equaling 111 days. And Joseph Smith, he founded the Mormon religion in 1830, like the Indian Removal Act of 1830. University of Utah was founded in 1850, like your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. And that was set up by Patrick Edward Connor. He was sent by Abraham Lincoln to guard the Overland Route, which was the Union Pacific. It was Promontory Point, where the Union Pacific Road connected with the. That's where the Transcontinental Railroad connecting Omaha, Nebraska, and Promontory Point with Sacramento. So from the Days of the Dead on 11/1, like your Indian Removal Act of 1830, on your Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 110 minutes. Days of the Dead on 11/1. So the longest day of darkness is 12/21. Where do we bury the dead? Underground, in burial mounds. What? It's dark. It's darkness under there. Whenever you go underground, it's darkness. 111 plus 1110 equals 12/21, your longest day of darkness. Biden got his first little dealio on 12/21 of 2020. And he got a second one on 1/11. Like 111 plus 1110 equals 12/21. Your Days of the Dead on 11/1. So he gets his first one on 12/21, and he gets his second one on 1/11. From 12/21 to 1/11 equals 528 hours. Like 181 days equaling 5 months and 28 days. Like resolution 181 and the Indian Removal Act of 528. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But this is the original receipt for resolution 181, and it was meeting number 128, and 33 votes were voted in, and this was endorsed by your Grand Master Mason, President Harry Truman. 42%, your 42nd prime equals 181, territory of 11,100, and 141. Number 1410 months separates your Indian Removal Act of 1830 on 5/28 with resolution 181 endorsed by your Grand Master Mason and signed into law by your other Grand Master Mason, and your 141st prime equals 811 from 811. From 141 to 811 time equals 1830 equals 18.5 hours, equaling 110 minutes, equaling 630. All this genocidal code just wrapping around, and yeah, I'm gonna cut this one loose, kids, but I hope you guys got some good information here today. Peace in thy crease.